My name is Kevin Taylor. I would like to make this clear. This episode will be full of statements that will not make some people comfortable. Some Ghanaians, especially the hypocrites among us. This episode will touch on nerves. So if you think you are not ready to accept the hard truth, my fellow Ghanaian, don't watch this. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kevin Taylor, and this is With All Due Respect. So with all due respect, I am one of the thousands of Ghanaians who felt that the previous administration led by John Dramani Mahama didn't deserve to manage this country because most Ghanaians like myself were made to believe that John Mahama was never qualified to be our leader because of his lineage and how his name sounds. I was part of the group who used words like "Can a Tenny like Mahama lead us?" or "A Pepeni like Mahama rule us as a people." And we used all sorts of words. The honest truth is, we, the thousands of Ghanaians who felt we are the majority, did everything in our power to rubbish whatever the Pepeni or Tenny John Mahama administration did to help solve the most difficult problem this nation has ever encountered since independence. That is Dumsor. We, these same people, or we, these same Ghanaians who felt a Pepeni or a Tenny like John Mahama could not lead us as a people, also managed to put an idea into the minds of other Ghanaians to think the perfect replacement for Mahama was one of us. We, the same people, came together to sabotage, to disgrace, to rubbish everything the Pepeni, yes, I'll keep saying that, the Tenny John Mahama did in terms of infrastructure development and more especially the massive investment he made in this country's energy sector. The shocking thing about this honest truth is that we made Ghanaians believe that our preferred candidate was more qualified, more intelligent, and more accepted because we believe he had his formal education in Europe, specifically in the United Kingdom, so he was smarter than the Gonja boy who never got that opportunity. Now, let's set the record straight. My fellow Ghanaians, the Pepeni, the Tenny John Mahama, who never sat in class with the so-called intelligent white kids in London, has been able to prove to us Ghanaians that he's more of an asset to us than the liability we have imposed on ourselves for the past 3 years. Yes, liabilities full of lies, liabilities full of pettiness and greed. This same Mahama we hated and called Pepeni or Tenny was able to sustain the energy sector by purchasing a 225 megawatt car power. This Tenny Mahama was able to purchase a 250 megawatt Ameri power. He tried and he invested in 220 Pong power plant and 110 megawatt Abuade plant. Now, if there's one thing I honestly respect about this same Pepeni or Tenny John Mahama we hated for no reason was his ability to find a long-term solution to Dumsor. Now, what do we see today? The government of the day, which is led by one of us, yes, the so-called intelligent, smart lawyer and best English-speaking parrot, can't even sustain what the Pepeni or Tenny we hated left behind. Today, Dumsor is inevitable whilst flimsy excuses are being given to please the base of a political party. Ghana is in crisis as we speak, but we have refused to speak because one of us, yes, one of us is president today. Instead of government being truthful to we the citizens on how they have failed to manage all that was left for them, they have stupidly decided to please their ignorant followers by lying to we Ghanaians that the damning Dumsor we are experiencing today in Ghana is just a short-term problem caused by our road construction works at Pukwase. How stupid can we be as a people to allow such empty heads to disrespect us? It is a fact that Dumsor is inevitable, and the quicker we the people come to accept this current government is clueless in solving the problem, the better for us as a people. I know some hypocrites among us who are filled with hate and have failed to think with their brains will pretend that the words I'm using today is unheard of, especially calling ex-President Mahama a Tenny or Pepeni, which we the majority use as our political statement when we needed power. Let us stop these mind games and speak the hard truth to each other. We, the NPP, came to power because we used tribalism as a weapon. We know for a fact that the unprecedented infrastructure development that Pepeni, yes, that Gonja boy did is unprecedented in the history of this nation. The truth is, as I speak, this present government has disappointed everyone. Sometimes I feel like puking when I hear my own NPP people say we should speak with facts and evidence. What evidence again do we need as a people to show that we came to power on lies and deceit? The Pepeni, yes, the Tenny John Dramani Mahama we dearly hated, has things to point at if we ask him what he did. What about us, the most intelligent, well-groomed Vietnam suit-wearing bureaucrat managing this country today? What have we got to show the people? Sending ignorant youth to display placards on the street to tell we Ghanaians the achievement of this government is the most stupidest idea I have ever come across. How foolish can we be as a government, NPP? And how stupid can we be as a people? With all due respect, it is sad to know that in Ghana today, people who became journalists out of pain and hatred for some individuals have allowed themselves to be used as equalization machines for this useless government. They now contradict themselves without shame and expect the ordinary Ghanaian who knows what a bad government looks like to fall for such stupid propaganda. Yesterday, we were the ones praising and hailing journalists who exposed corruption during Mahama's time. But today, we have put them on the death row, all because they have exposed who we really are. The men we respected as principal leaders of yesterday have all been turned into kitchen stool husbands by their spouses, all because their spouses share the same ideologies like the masses who in secret rubbish Mahama's work because he belongs to the minority. Finally, with all due respect, now let me tell every Ghanaian and the world why this current NPP government I voted for and belong to is stupidly stupid when it comes to governance. What makes this government uniquely stupid is that they are trying to lie about an obvious truth. Dumsor is inevitable and will become worse in no time. What makes this government stupid is that out of their ego and arrogance and pettiness, they have refused to do the honorable thing by telling we Ghanaians the truth about the crisis we are experiencing today. They are so ignorant that they only think about pleasing their base for the next election, whilst they have forgotten that not only their base voted for them. When Dumsor hit, it does not only affect the NDC but every Ghanaian. So why can't we be honest as government and tell the people the truth? This is despicable and disgusting to say the least. Today, if I walk into Ridge Hospital, yes, or the Legon Medical Center, no doctor will ask me which party I belong to before they attend to me. If I walk into Kotoka Terminal 3, I don't think I will be asked which party I belong to before I will be allowed to fly out of the country. I believe strongly that most of the women who now sell at the ultramodern KJTR market and the Kotokraba market don't ask customers which party they belong to before they sell their produce to them. When these generators Mahama pitches during Dumsor are working effectively and producing at its full capacity, I don't think the light that gets in our homes will only make its way into NDC sympathizers' houses. My fellow Ghanaians, let us wise up and speak the truth. It is never a crime to believe in your tribe or party ideologies, but it is also wise and prudent to also protect the interest of the nation which you live in, and that interest is demanding results from the people you pay with your taxes. If a government is stupid and lack common sense, you should be bold to say it. After all, we made them who they are today. If the Pepeni or Tenny man who did not have the privileges of those we believe had, then why should we not demand more from these people? This government said a lot, and they have to deliver a lot. They can do all the antics and speak all the nice English. They can let their frog-eyed journalists do all the propaganda to make them look good, and their imbecile MPs to misbehave and threaten we Ghanaians out of stupidity. But the fact still remains that they have failed. My fellow Ghanaians, this should teach us a lesson that we should not allow tribalism and hypocrisy restrain us from supporting what is good. After all, the money they use for building or developing this country is not theirs. We should rise above this pettiness and start to look at what people bring to the table. The excuses this government is giving about Dumsor should tell us that this government is bad news. They are failures and everything shows it. Until this NPP government led by arrogant and empty-headed President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo starts to walk the talk, some of us will also or will always see them as second fiddle to the Pepeni or Tenny John Mahama, because Mahama's track record is solid. The truth hurts, but that's the truth. For it is said, and I quote, "Until the lion learns how to write his own story himself, every story will glorify the hunter." End of quote. So until this NPP government led by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo learns to work hard and prove themselves that they can do better than the Mahama administration, they will always be referred to as failures and liars. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Kevin Ekobedu Taylor, and this is With All Due Respect.